Greetings again, English 3060. This is Corey coming back to you. We're going to talk about Project 1B. We'll spend a little time. I went ahead and brought the Project 1B up to give us a little bit more time so I can talk a little bit more about the specifics of 1B. I really want to spend the majority of the time kind of talking about the PowerPoint itself or the design of the PowerPoint. I'm not sure if, I don't think on the schedule yet we've read thoroughly into perhaps either Chapter 7 or Chapter 15 in Markel yet. But there's some kind of some basic design principles that I'm just going to kind of give you to have you think about when putting a PowerPoint together. Plus the fact too that this particular PowerPoint for this one, we're specifically asking you not to use graphics. Again, do not use graphics. We're just going to kind of master the text of PowerPoint. And mastering the text of PowerPoint is all about bullet points. It's about avoiding paragraphs. It's about choosing a sans serif font. Like Arial, Verdana, Helvetica even is a sans serif font. So we want to avoid, probably maybe the first time in your college career so far, avoid the Times New Roman. All right, so we don't want to use that. It's more challenging to read. We also want to think about using a font size probably that's more like in the 20 range, low 20s, 21 to 25, 24, somewhere in that neighborhood. We want those points to stand out, and then we bring up a point and then we do the talking. All right. So we're going to summarize this in about 4 to 5 minutes, learn to present this technical information, which we've talked about. Again, just want to remind you, do not use any graphics or visuals other than your outline. All right. So we provided an outline here. It references some, well-organized slides. Markel talks about in Chapter 7, if you want to reference that. So the following here. So really like you to kind of stick to this. I think it'll help guide you while it's got limits. It seems maybe a little restrictive. I think it'll help you narrow your focus down and get kind of the idea and the concept of this type of presentation specifically as the genre. And the purpose of this is to summarize your article. So I'm going to capture the attention of your listeners, introduce yourself. You can do that in 2 ways. Your very first slide could be an introduction, a title of your presentation. Not necessarily the title of the article, the title of your presentation. Something that you've come up with that you're going to use that's going to kind of guide the summary, again, for the layperson. Convince the audience that you're qualified. The purpose is that you're summarizing, and then you're going to kind of forecast what's coming up. So you can do this in 1 or 2 slides. Your first slide could be about you, where you highlight that information as they can see it on there. Again, using minimal text, large font, sans serif. And then you can kind of foreshadow or forecast what's coming up in the next slide or 2. And then in the middle, so 2 to 3 minutes, use slides to present 3 main points of your summary. And present related content in kind of an extemporaneous style is kind of what I'm doing now. I'm kind of going over this and I'm filling in from the quote unquote bullet points, the numbered points in this case, of how the summary meshes well with your title and making it kind of all come together. So you have this nice context, right? The context of a memo translated into a presentation, translated into delivering this information, making it understandable for your audience. And then try to use language while there are going to be some terms, obviously, that are going to sound more technical than others. Be sure to make sure that those are clearly contextualized and that can be understood, even because sometimes those more challenging terms or difficult terms, the 50-cent words, if you will, still can make sense of them, provided that they're in the right context. And then you want to conclude, summarize the main points, and kind of like effectively, in this particular case, since we don't have in a situation where we're going to be able to have questions or anything of that nature, just remind the audience of the information that you would like them to remember. What is most important about this article that you're taking away that maybe relates back to your title, and kind of make it all kind of just nicely come together. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm trying to keep my videos under 5 minutes. So I got this timer coming up down here at the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and close now. So just keep some of those main points in mind as you're recording. And we'll talk again soon. You guys have a great day. Thanks.